back to Band Chat. Once again, I'm your host, Bonnie from Innocence Torn, and I would like to introduce you to someone I can't wait to actually shake hands with. This is Lane Steele from WorldWide Panic. Hey, Lane, how are you?
Hey, Bonnie.
It's finally nice to put a face to a name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hope it's not lackluster.
No, not at all, not at all. I kind of figured you kind of sounded on the phone on occasion like you might be from Brooklyn or like New York or something, just every now and again. But that could just be my old
It-
ears and me judging. I don't know.
it's a Jersey thing. A lot of my family was from Jersey, so
Hey, look at me. I was close.
yeah.
So you are with Worldwide Panic out of Los Angeles, and you guys are currently
Yes.
like on tour right now, right?
Not currently. We will be. We haven't really announced it yet, but I don't know when this is going to come out. But we are going on. It's probably more appropriately called the mini tour, but we are going on a trek nonetheless. From March 6th to the 11th.
Oh,
So
nice.
doing you know, doing doing the thing.
And Innocence Torn happens to be blessed to be playing with you on March 7th down in Eugene, Oregon. And I am
We're
really
blessed to
looking
have
forward to
you.
that.
Yes.
You guys have done some junk stuff and things, man. And doing my research on you, and you got Billboard awards, and I mean, you guys have played with some serious heavy hitters. I hope, when you get up to Oregon and Washington, you're not bored from us playing Janers.
No, it's all good. We did in the beginning to intermediate part of our career, I think that we kind of decided to, jump on these bit tours with bigger bands and play in front of their crowds and make their fans our fans and all that type of stuff. And we're still open to doing that kind of stuff. We're not like past it, we're not above it, but I think where we are right now in our current trajectory is we want to prove ourselves as our own headliners. And I mean, a lot of these people who do this stuff, even on echelons similar to ours, like September Morning or Gemini Syndrome, they often do headlining tours, and then they often do tours where they open for other bands, so on and so forth. So we're just trying to prove to people that we can show up and we can play an hour and we can entertain. And I think that's where we are right now. If there's an opportunity that comes up where we get to do, a 30-minute set with a bigger band and get to play in front of a larger scale audience, we'll definitely take that into consideration, high consideration. But right now, I think the idea is that, we put out a debut album that's actually turning 1 years old in a few hours.
Yay!
Yeah, it came out February 20th of 2023. So uh we're still very much in the process of servicing that album uh as much as we can live. And
And I think you kind of have to do that. I mean, I,
yeah,
I on occasion get, kind of bored of some of the stuff that we put out originally. But the reason
yeah,
why is because I've been doing it for 3 years and it's changed so much. Not
sure,
just the dynamic of it, but like bandmates have changed and now we do it completely different. Um, you know, uh, but the stuff that we've recently been, just did, I'm kind of excited for people to hear in a sense, just because
sure.
it's something new, but you still have to have that time. Like a year doesn't, it seems like a lot of time, but it's really not for that newness to wear off. You know what I mean?
No, and especially we really didn't get to do the kind of touring that we wanted to do behind it. We've only done like one actual tour and two mini tours in support of this as so far. So there's definitely we feel like there's a lot to go. As far as showing these people the songs off the self-titled release that came out in 2023. So we feel strongly about that. But as an artist, I keep creating, I keep producing. You know, it's no secret. I think that we put out a press release in January of this year, so last month, that Worldwide Panic has officially entered the studio to record our second full length album. So,
Which congratulations on that. That
yeah,
we are in the process. We've had two EPs come out, and
great.
we are currently like 5 songs into a full length album, and I cannot believe like it was a lot of work just to get, the little EPs that we did out. And then now
No, there's nothing small about an EP. There's,
no,
yeah,
the whole production it's a lot of fun. Um, but it's also, really, you have to make damn good and sure that you're ready to do that. And
right.
I don't think in the EPs that we were, but in this album, I think we're, a year and a half, 2 years into doing it 3 times a week, and we're so versed in it that it made it fun again. So
That's
I
good.
congratulate you on getting out a full album, let alone two. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about today was I realized in listening to some of your music, there's like some depth in there. It's not like you guys should. I mean, there's a lot of like you can hear the passion behind your the band, each member and their own unique talents. However, it's not like, how do I put this? Like it's not unique, but it is. It has some value to it. If you listen to the lyrics, and I'm sorry that I can't, belt them all out right now. I kind of have a cold.
Fine.
You can feel it. And I think that if you're, I don't know who writes your actual lyrics, but you've definitely got a soul to you, man, for sure.
Thanks. Yeah,
Or you're really angry. I don't really know.
yeah, no, I'm a really flawed individual. And I talk about some pretty deep things if people actually take the time to listen. So, I mean, like there's a corn where, you talk about all these things in your childhood. I kind of don't only focus on that. I kind of focus on, what happened to me yesterday, what happened to me today. Like, I mean, it's very visceral and real.
But it's relatable. Like,
And I'm also guilty. I don't know why I'm tooting my horn so much, but why not? I'm
why
all
not?
I'm,
You're
I'm
on
also
Bandcamp.
I'm also guilty for being the main songwriter and composer, and I do play most of the rhythm guitar and all of bass and do a lot of the drum programming and synthesizer. So these songs in their structure literally are from my blood, sweat, and tears. And I think that that is something that, I think that people can sense it's genuine. It's not a manufactured thing. You got these bands, I'll call them out like Bad Wolves, like they have staff writers. There's a whole label called Better Noise, and they have staff writers for most of, if not all, their bands. And you know that's great and grand. Go cook me up a single and I'll sing it. That sounds great. But I do work with collaborators. I do not everything is all mine. Like Falling Apart was a Billboard hit of ours,
That
and
definitely was a good one.
that was a collaboration for sure. That was a collaboration. But a lot of these things are just raw, pure emotion that went and had, 4 or 5, 3 different demo versions until it actually became what you hear in its finality, So I think that there's just a lot of raw emotion in Worldwide Panic. And I think the idea is to be open and be transparent and hope that it reaches somebody and helps them in their situation, whatever they may be going through.
Yeah, and you know what? You and I had talked about this, over Facebook, and
Mhm.
that was, you can write a song all day. Whether or not that song is going to sell isn't really based upon. It's based upon a lot of criteria. But when you're writing music, you also have to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Like there's writing songs that people actually want to listen to, that they can relate to, that
Yeah.
they, and you never know what that is going to look like. So I want to kind of touch on that conversation that you and I had, because I thought it was really kind of deep. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And
Sure.
I think a lot of people rush that process and just do what they think people want, but
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
there is a formula, but there's not. You just, I think once you're real about it, it's more relatable and
Right.
backing it up with the good, rhythm and all that. Anyway, I'm going to let you tell me.
Well, there wherein lies the formula is there definitely is a formula to writing a song that's radio friendly and or can be a hit, whether you're intending it to be a hit on active market radio, which is like, on your TV music choice or Sirius XM or anything of those type of different mediums where, cursing is acceptable. That's not the focal point, but there you could write you know a song that could resonate and be a hit for that kind of market, or you can write a song that could resonate and be a hit and be played, 80 to 100,000 spins a week all across the nation on radio stations. And, that's a different animal. Um, you know, long form albums, we're lucky that we had an EP that charted, for sales, and that was really tough, you know. But you know, what I think, and I can only speak for my band, so if it's too self-absorbed, excuse me. But
That's what Van Chat's all about, man. It's about talking about what's real.
Yeah, and
Without, and although I will say that every band is different, and it's not shooting your own horn, it's literally your processes and how you do, and that's what I'm interested in. But it's also really like this is just the reality of what it looks
yeah,
like, and I think you work too hard. I think everyone that really gives a shit about what they're doing just works too fucking hard to not have some sort of self, some sort of, it's okay to feel this way. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like
yeah.
it's shooting your horn. I feel like you worked hard enough in your particular craft to be able to speak on it. And so I just wanted to interrupt you and
No, it's fine. I think that, again, touching on what I touched on before is just, the visceral realness of being able to be so honest about life. And sometimes I don't feel great about myself. Sometimes I feel insecure. Sometimes I, feel like I tried too hard. Sometimes I feel like I'm falling apart. I'm looking at my set list and I'm just running off names right now.
that's really funny
You know,
because our first EP it was kind of a joke that the whole thing was a breakup song, right? And
right.
I mean, and it wasn't really meant that way. It was just the way that the stories got told, I guess.
And I just think that there's a big difference because what we talked about on the phone and about, what we're doing tonight about this podcast and, the theme around what you were talking about is there's definitely a big difference between writing a formula of a song that could be a radio hit, be a active radio or be a radio hit and or be a media based hit or be a Spotify hit or be a YouTube music video hit and dependent all on the visual aspect. These are all four different things that are totally not mutually exclusive. And the one thing about these four things that is also not mutually exclusive is they actually don't have to resonate with people to be a hit. You know, I mean, you could literally, have a songwriter write, all this stuff and, maybe it resonates with people or maybe people just kind of like the bop of it or the groove of it, or maybe it's a fun song,
Yeah.
because we have a few fun songs in our set where it's not the most serious of topics, but some people like the bop of it, so you go with that. Even I hate to quote Tupac, but yeah, I mean there were so many things that he did as a poet, as an artist, that were so real and transparent and visceral. But there was a lot of songs like California Love,
Yeah.
like where it was just about the bop
Yeah.
and getting into it. So, you know, uh, making a song that resonates with someone doesn't even mean you have to make it relatable. It just means that there's something about it that that person likes.
Yeah.
And you can go the route of going totally bare naked with like one of our songs like Never Go Back, like talking about going back, never going back to a situation that compromises your morals or makes you want to fucking jump off a bridge. Like that's hard shit to fucking talk about. you know or you can just write it, California Love, and just get the crowd bopping and having fun. So it really, making a song that resonates with people is a totally different art form than going out and purposely writing a hit for any of those different markets or targets that I've talked about before. It's just it really is, it's subjective to the listener. A lot of people, where I think they fall short these days, is they just kind of pick couple bands, and they're like, yeah, we'll sound like these guys, we'll do this, we'll do that. And a lot of times I listen to these guys and they're like, you know woke up today and I feel like shit, and I don't want to quit, and I'm like, I don't believe you woke up feeling like shit, and
For
I don't,
real.
and I don't believe that you're gonna go through true adversity and not gonna quit.
I
Like
get it.
I don't fucking believe the words that are coming out of your mouth,
I
dude.
get it.
Like
Like
you
somebody
heard.
dude, yeah, I completely get that. And the reason, I say it's a breakup song, if you listen to like our first EP and stuff, it really, I never wrote an actual song anybody gave a shit about until I got in this band. And the first thing that I wrote was about, I was protesting all the bullshit in this world. And I was trying to get other people, it was like my anthem. I had no idea anybody would ever actually like, because I'm like, raise your fist if you're sick of this shit. War, I never expected in a million years to be standing on stage and people actually throw their hands up and be like, this is war. And I say that because, we've got some really sentimental shit too, but I wanted something fun. I kind of wanted not to be, I didn't want to sound like anybody else. I wanted to sound
Yeah,
like whatever it was I was trying to get out. And we've got a couple of songs that ignite so much emotion in me. It is so hard for me to get through it. And one of which I wrote about a friend that passed away, and it affected
yeah,
so many people. And I'm finding that that song actually did exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to
yeah. That's
ignite the
right.
emotion, but also heal all of those that listened to it that knew what it was about. And it's done that. And I'm like, I don't think I don't think there's ever a bigger honor or like a pride
Yeah,
than that.
yeah.
I have to tell a story. I wrote the song one time, 5 minutes after I found out, and I never looked at it again. And it was
Mm.
just because it was like such raw emotion that it was
Revisiting
going to
it,
go really
revisiting
well
it.
or really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I kind of understand what you're talking about.
yeah.
So I mean,
So to go on and what you were saying,
yeah,
like to have something to where somebody comes up to you and talks to you about this. I've told this story a number of times, but I don't mind retelling it. There's a song called Shrapnel off our last record, and it's not a radio hit. It wasn't intended to be a radio hit. And a lot of people, especially, on certain ends of the political spectrum, are biased to it, and they automatically contrive it to be some sort of have agenda about it. But there really is no political agenda about it. The song was about the original guitar player, who's my best friend from high school. I picked him up from the airport when he came back from Afghanistan, and we got into a 3 week drinking binge. And in
oh
that three
man.
week I'm no longer drinking.
And
Um,
congratulations on that too, by the way. I've been through that journey, and I know. Um, so yeah, I won't touch too much on that, but
but in that three
proud of
weeks,
there.
he shared pictures and stories, and it inspired me to write this song called Shrapnel about what people go through when they come back from active duty, whether it's an active DZ or whether it's just going through that, being away from their family, being in this point where they come home they, may or may not get treated properly. Like I wrote this song for them, and we played this song. We play this song almost every show. I think we actually it sneaks in there almost every show. Um, and we were out with a band called Flaw, who's very political, more than us. But they're very pro-American, and so are we. And in that, we were playing Sunshine Studios live in Colorado Springs,
Okay, I've heard of that. Yeah.
and
We want to play there, man. Just saying.
yeah, we played Shrapnel. And we always we give a free signed 8x10 to anybody at our merch booth, so we always try to make a free option for people if they can't afford it, whatever, to come, feel free, take a picture with us, we'll post it on our socials,
Oh,
you'll
I
tag
love
yourself.
that.
Yeah, so we try to really be a as the most one of the most interactive live bands you could see, which is one of the goals that we have. But there was a gentleman came to the table, totally crying, and a lot of the security swarmed around this guy and thought he was kind of like a drunken mess and all this other kind of stuff. And I said, "Wait," and he was trying to get words out, and it was very difficult for him. And what I got was, "I'm a vet."
Oh my God, you make
And
me don't make me tear up, bro.
and basically what I had to do was I said, okay, you security guys, you can, go away. And I took him back to our dressing room and I sat him down. And basically what happened was, and this is a story, many vets have given me presents and gifts and, flags off their hat. It's just been this continuing thing on our
Wow, what an
journey.
honor.
And basically this gentleman, he had an IED go off next to his head. He lost his hearing,
Oh my God.
and he had corrective hearing surgery. And the first show that he saw, and we happened to be the opener of opening for that tour. Um, the first band that he saw played a song for him,
Oh my
and
God. You guys
it
have
was
got my
just
heart now. Oh my God.
it was just like you can't put a price tag on making someone feel like what they went through wasn't in vain,
Right.
and yeah, I'm very fortunate to be able to connect with people on these kind of levels, and
I mean, that's when
um,
you know what you've done. Like, when you go to the other side and they, whomever that is in your book,
right,
if you have to answer to anybody, and they're like, what did you do in your life? You can literally say, I touched somebody. You can say that. And that fucking matters because the only true, like, absolute sin is deliberate fucking hatred. And
right,
so when somebody, you know, comes to you and they're kind of putting their heart in your hands,
yeah,
you've done something. You know that you have touched that person. And for me, I don't think there's any better, like, dude, you just touched my heart. That is amazing.
yeah,
Absolutely amazing that you guys do that. I
yeah,
I support my vets. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. That's not political. I am the only child in my entire family, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandfather, blah blah blah, that didn't
mhm,
go to the military. But and that's just because I didn't have the temperament for it. But
yeah,
um, I was always very keen to understand what that looked like. Like, I didn't have to go to the military because they did. And I know
mhm,
that. And that's no excuse for me not serving.
yeah,
I just don't have the, they would have broke me in 3 days. So, yeah, I mean, but I really love that story. And I'm so
yeah,
glad that you shared that with us.
yeah. There's many like it, but that's one of the more special ones for me. Yeah,
All right. And that's kind of why we do this in a way. Besides our own personal passions and our understanding of the music that we're compelled to do is that moment. It's that moment. There's
yeah,
always special moments. Um, Mine was having all of the Rainbow Room in Hollywood sing my song back to me. I couldn't even
right,
handle it. I had no idea. I was crying on stage. Like, it touched me. You know what I mean? But
right,
that's a moment that I think a lot of people, um, That's a moment I strive for. If I could touch that one person in some way and help them, that would be that'd be life goal complete, man. So wow,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we kind of, I mean, and I can't touch that. I'm not even gonna try.
No,
But
it's not for
we
that.
do play a lot of like all ages shows, and I
Right.
think that the kids are always left out. Like they're left out. You can see them like, doing their little mini mosh pit or just sitting there like, I'm so fucking bored. I don't know what to do with myself. And so we usually will bring like kids up on, up on our stage, and we give them their first. And I got this from my friend Matt. Matt, I love you. If you hadn't done it for the kids, I would have never continued that passion. But we let them do their first stage dive. And then at our booth, excuse me, I'm so sorry, I have a cold. Um, we have little packages just for them that my friend Charity Bray started, and we've continued that. And it has like bubbles and like, temporary tattoos, and like we
That's
make sure
cool.
that they realize that they are important to us because they are our next generation, and we want them to be inspired. And as parents, don't think to like, oh, maybe they might want a sticker, maybe they might want a t-shirt. So we make sure that they have, whatever they want to make them feel good about being a little rock star,
Yeah.
and of course those are free in our booth anytime you guys, anyway.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I know that you were a very busy man, and you took, your time with me tonight, and I really appreciate that. I know that you were supposed to be going into the recording studio, so I know that's going to happen for you soon. And
Yeah.
um, so, I've asked other
A
folks.
lot of people just don't realize like when you know, yeah, the press release came out about our plans of this record and what we're doing. It's just like, I'm like telling people, yeah, I'm going to be blocked out for a week in a studio and I'm going to be away from my family and I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that, and we're on a crunch time and the due date is this. And they're like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I'm raising. A lot of people already know this about me, but I'm raising my grandson's son. I've had him since the day he was born. It's like 16 months now, and so I have a
wow,
full-time job. I'm
that's
raising him.
amazing.
He's not even my bio, and but if anybody ever tells him that, I'll fucking kill him. Like, to be able to plan to go to studio or go out of town, or especially studio, because
Yeah,
lately what we have been doing, which we had not done in the past, is that the band will go in. We have a producer and we have an engineer now. Two of the best in
it's great.
Oregon, which I'm really excited about. But they've never actually taken me just personally off and done a whole day just with me. And I tried to prepare people for that. But the problem was I wasn't prepared for that, because that means that I don't work that day. It means that dishes don't get done. It means that like I can't practice with the band. I missed out
No,
on an interview review that I had done with Shani Marie. I missed out on that completely.
yeah,
Um, and mentally, when I walked in, I thought, okay, this is going to go great. If I had to pay for every F bomb that went off that afternoon, but it's a lot more work, I think, than people understand. I was there for almost 8 hours, and that's like 4 or 5 songs. You know what I mean? And we're not even done. So
yeah.
I get it. I get kind of, maybe not at your caliber, especially that you've done this before, but my first experience is holy shit, you know?
Here's the rub, and I'll this is be my last tidbit for the night, and I'll shut up. But
Me too.
here's the rub. You could do what I did and decide to, I'm not going to say my age, but yeah, this is my 20th year as a professional heavy metal singer songwriter, and it makes me really look back at my life. And I'd been doing this for this long, of the cycles of going in a studio. Okay, you're done with the studio, now you do the music videos, now you're getting ready for tour, now you tour, now you got to write while you were on tour, then you got to come back and you got to
Your
record.
podcast, I get it.
Yeah, and you got to record more. And once you're done with that, then the videos and the pictures and the touring, and it's just rinse and repeat. And if I didn't do that, I'd probably be a lot richer of a man, to be honest. No, it's very
No, I mean
true.
I'm laughing because we've all said that. In fact, yeah, we've all said that. And today, I did kind of back to back interviews today just so that I had time to actually get them all done and edited and stuff. And the one common thing, all of our bands are so different in their,
Yeah,
their genre, their, their processes, but so many things are universal. And one of which is how expensive, and I don't just mean financially, but mainly financially, emotionally, um, your
physically.
time, like, because you're so fucking dedicated that everything to some degree has to go to the wayside. And you don't take that vacation. You don't get to like not have to work and not, well, at least for me, you know, I still have to work. I still
Yeah,
have to be able to find time.
I have to
I got,
hustle.
and I got the kid and everything. And you sit back and I'm looking at myself at my age, and I don't mind telling you people I am 50. And I look back and I'm wondering why in the hell it took me so long to find the confidence in myself to get in front of people. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
no,
I don't know.
totally.
I felt like I wasted a lot of my life waiting around on what could have been instead of giving myself a shot. So
I think that, if somebody asked me like, that you've been doing this 20 years, what do you think, what in your mind um defines a professional? And
oh, that's a good one.
that's a tough one, and it made me really think. And it's not an answer I think everyone's going to like, and I think a lot of people are going to take umbrage with it, and or say I'm
No,
wrong,
because they think if they get paid, that's professional, and that is not
well,
not it.
that is the dictionary definition.
It is.
But I think that for this being in hard rock, heavy metal, rock and roll, being a front person, especially, I think the caveat is, if you want to be a professional, there is no off dates. You cannot have an off date. You can't have a day where you're feeling off, acting off, giving less than at a show. It really comes down to, do you have that in you to summon what's inside of you to arise to the occasion every time? And that, to me, is being a professional, you know.
Wow, Lan, you are a profoundly amazing individual, and and I really, really do appreciate knowing how tired you are and what you're going
It's
through.
all good.
Yeah, like I slept 4 hours last night, and I got up this morning and just decided I'm going to sit up and show up for my life. And
It's all
I
good.
feel like I'm sick, and you know what? That's not going to stop. It can't stop me from what I'm doing. So I really, really appreciate that attitude. So before I let you go, can you please tell everybody where they can find you
Sure.
online,
Yeah.
and maybe outside of, we play with this lovely individual on March 7th down in Eugene. You guys
March
can check out,
7th.
yeah, March 7th. You guys can check out my Facebook page, which you guys, all the links will be down at the bottom. So make sure that you go check out. If you don't know, and I doubt you don't, Worldwide Panic, all of the links that he's telling you will be in the description.
We should shout out all the other bands. Do we know the other bands that are playing
Yes.
with us that night?
Yes. It's called Sweaters for Astronauts. And
Sweaters for
these
Astronauts.
guys literally just won the Whack and Metal Battle for Portland,
Okay.
think last week or the week before. So they're going on to, they won first place.
Cheers.
There, I know. I didn't get
Right.
a chance to go to this one. We played back in the last 2 years, and we just could not get there that night. We really wanted to support. But as I was told by other bandmates, he's got, actually the lead singer for Hangfire told me that these guys were awesome balls. That was her exact words. So um, apparently it's going to be a hell of a show. And then the other one, I just found out about myself, so I feel really bad.
Gamma Knife.
Yes, Gamma Knife.
Gamma
Thank you
Knife.
so much. And I'm so sorry, guys. No offense. I just found out. myself. And I'm really looking forward. I haven't had a chance to really look at them, but this whole lineup is just crazy ass insane cool. And we're gonna be in like an old school, like shut down arcade. So like we can, yeah, just go crazy playing old school video games or something afterwards. I've actually looked it up and it
I
does
did
look
too.
amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, it looks fun.
So where else can they find you?
Easy. WorldWidePanicBand.com. You can go there. You can have everything in front of you. Links to our Spotify, links to our music videos are all there. Our merch is there. You can follow us on Instagram. It's worldwide_panic. Find us on Facebook, /Worldwide Panic. It's very simple. We're not hard to find, guys.
Wonderful. So I want all the listeners that are, checking us out tonight, I want you guys to all go support them, support us too. And we hope to see you at our next show in Eugene.
March 7th.
Yes, March 7th. Lane Steele, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, you absolutely rock. I cannot wait to shake your hand. And we will see you in about 3 weeks.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a great night. Get some rest.
Take care, guys.
Wow, child, I cannot wait for the next episode. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Next time I'll be sitting down with Steve Unger from Metal Church Autograph and The King Live 85. I hope you guys can join us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let's go!